Welcome to Tech 24. I'm Mark Edwards. Coming up, Bitcoin. It's the virtual currency trumpeted as the money of the future. Deregulated without a financial institution in sight, we take a look at what these are and what they might mean for you. And in Test 24, we test out the Magic Cube, which gives us a full-sized virtual keyboard in a pocket-sized device. Now, with a market valuation of over $1 billion, Bitcoins is a big business. But for many, it's still a baffling system. Is it a currency? How do you get your hands on them? Well, as ever, on Tech 24, we try and break things down for you. Take a look at our guide to the Bitcoin.
It's a so-called virtual currency that could revolutionise global trade. But what exactly is a Bitcoin? Well, it's like the euro or the pound. It's a form of currency, except that it's not controlled by any country and it's purely digital, living in online wallets. You can't go to an ATM and take out a Bitcoin, plus it's independent of any financial institution.
What got me really interested about Bitcoin was the fact that you can literally send payments from one person to another without a central clearinghouse, bank, government, corporation, all of that. And it was truly person to person. There's a cap on inflation, and there's no arbitrary printing of money.
But how do you get a hold of these Bitcoins? One way is to buy them at market value from different online Bitcoin exchanges. The other way is to find your own Bitcoins by mining for them online. All you need is a computer and some software that helps you discover a hidden series of letters and numbers that match up with the Bitcoin security keys. But much like any gold rush, the most easily mineable coins have already been discovered. Bitcoins uses a format where the algorithms become harder to find, a system designed to keep the currency's growth rate or inflation steady and predictable. Currently, there are just over 11 million Bitcoins in existence, and the instructions cap the total number at 21 million to be unearthed by the year 2140.
And I've got Pierre Noisin with me in the studio. Pierre, you're the founder of Paymium, a company that's specialising in alternative money, and you're a big proponent of Bitcoins. You've even written your own Bitcoins book. Now, can you tell me, how do we use them? Can we actually buy anything with Bitcoins?
First and foremost, Bitcoin is a technology today, and you can compare it perhaps to email. It's probably the easiest way to transfer wealth from point A to point B. More and more websites are accepting Bitcoins directly. But the future is probably where websites propose display a price in euros, for instance, and you pay with a payment means that's using the Bitcoin network as a vehicle for the transaction on the internet. And therefore, the user doesn't even realize, perhaps, that he's using Bitcoins as a vehicle for the transaction. Just like when you're using email or the web, you don't care about the protocol that's behind whatever you do on these networks.
Well, let's take a look at that. We're talking, it's a virtual world. Everything is deregulated. It's all virtual. Surely the Bitcoin market is slightly ripe for, let's say, illegal activities, hidden activities.
Well, it's really a technology. So today we can deploy Bitcoins in all sorts of areas, and certainly legitimate businesses are accepting Bitcoins more and more. There are thousands of websites, like WordPress, for instance, that's accepting Bitcoins already. But as I see it in the future, again, it's an alternative to traditional payment networks. Today you have basically the big card schemes that are handling almost all internet transactions. In the future, Bitcoin will take a slice of this market for internet transactions, and those are going to be perfectly legitimate transactions.
So you say that, the future. Let's talk big picture. What do you see as the future of Bitcoins?
So as more and more transactions are processed through the Bitcoin network, evidently people will gain more and more confidence in Bitcoin as a currency as well. So I see it becoming more and more of a currency over time, perhaps in 5–10 years from now. But for short term, it's really a wonderful transaction technology for payment, internet payment, and as such, it's a promise. It's poised to become a huge success in the next few years.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Pierre, for coming in to see us.
Thank you, Mark.
Do stay with us. We've got Test 24 coming right up. It's a full-sized virtual keyboard and multi-touch mouse in a compact, pocket-sized device. The Magic Cube magically projects a keyboard and mouse so you don't have to carry them around with you when you're traveling. And we've got our very own technological magician, France 24's technology correspondent on the French side, Guillaume Graillet. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in. Tell us a bit about the Magic Cube.
Hey Mark, here I've got a small box, but very light. It's less than 100 grams, but it will replace keyboards that are 5 times heavier. So how does it work? It works through 2 things. First, infrared projector here, right, but also a sensor in the middle. And this sensor will allow this projector to know when and where I'm typing. Right,
well, let's see it at work. Can we drop the lights a little bit to get the ambience going there? Here we go, fantastic. That looks very nice. Show us how it works.
So just this piece of paper I have a keyboard right now. Suppose I want to type hello, H-A-L-L-O. That will go directly to my smartphone because this is the beauty of it. It's a Bluetooth thing and it will go on computer, tablet, but also smartphones.
Easy to carry with you and it's actually a nice light instrument. Now,
the technology is extremely interesting because it's a 3D projector, but also sensor that will detect all my movements. I'm a little bit more severe on the mouse thing because the mouse doesn't work very well. But typing is great, and it makes your smartphone be a computer.
Well, give us your mark for this week's Test 24.
I like very much the design, Mark. That's why I put a good mark on it, and also the easy to use. It's a Bluetooth; it goes very well. But I'm a little bit more severe on the price because the technology is not new. It's been invented more than 20 years ago. So they could go a little better price maybe.
All right, so hopefully we'll get a cheaper one. Thanks for coming in, Guillaume. Great to see you. And that's almost the end of our show for this week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll leave you with 10,000 iPhone 5s transformed into individual dominoes. But there's a twist. Rather than collecting or buying the iPhones, which cost 600 euros a piece, Atmos Studios has recreated them using 3D special effects. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.